Hey, hi guys, this is a by request video. A young man is doing some kind of, I don't know, book report on me or something. No, he wants to do an interview. He wants me to answer some questions. Now, right now as we're talking, we got AKB48 playing outside in the street. I don't know how this can be like copyright music when it's like out of my control. I mean, come on, the whole town is full of this. But I'll just try to answer these questions, and I hope I'm a little worried about that. This video could get flagged because of this. Okay, number one, I'm gonna put the questions in the description and answer these 10 questions. 10 questions, okay. Did you always want to teach English abroad? If not, what were some other careers? My original reason for coming to Japan were because I wanted to see if I could learn Japanese, because I speak Spanish already. Yo todavía hablo español y por esa razón quería saber si yo podía aprender japonés. I wanted to see if I could learn Japanese because it's a real, speaking Spanish is kind of cheap for me because my parents spoke Spanish to me as a kid. So that was one reason. And I wanted to go back to college and become a professor because I like having a small amount of authority so I can exert that authority and manipulate and control people, like most teachers. No, of course not, because I love literature. That was a joke, by the way. I love literature, and before coming here, I was actually in the publishing business. Met Arthur Miller once. That's my big claim to fame, big deal. Well, actually, my big claim to fame now is I'm on YouTube, I guess. Yay! YouTube infamous. Yeah, so I wanted to become a professor, so I thought I'd come over here and see if I actually like teaching, because my big fear was that although I like teaching, I like literature, I may not actually like teaching. So I was coming over here because I knew you could teach for a year or whatever, you could teach with very little few credentials, whatever, Anybody could basically teach if you had a BA or BS. And I thought I would test it out for a year and then go back to college. But unfortunately, I met a woman who completely screwed up my life, and that's why I'm stuck here. Okay, long story. Different video there. Number two, did you teach abroad anywhere else besides Japan? No. Number three, what do you dislike about the job? I dislike, I dislike having to work at all, because who wants to work? I would rather just lie on the beach, right, and exercise and read books and stuff like that, But of course, if you're gonna have to work, it's a pretty good job for me because I like teaching. However, once in a while, due to the fact that I do have responsibilities, I am forced to take jobs that I'm not particularly fond of. For example, teaching a private student that is not necessarily, that interesting or never does homework. I suppose that's kind of a downer. But because I run my own school now, that kind of situation, those kind of students are few and far between, so it's not so bad. When I worked for other schools, of course, sometimes I would have to teach students that I'm not particularly fond of. Well, no, you know what? Students are basically great all around, but there would always be some people who had no energy, or I had one feisty old guy. I remember even now, this is years ago, like over 15 years ago, I taught him the word prosthetic. We were reading some article about a really inspirational article about a I think it was Army Ranger or something, who had jumped out of he lost his legs or something I don't remember how, in the war or something. He lost his legs and he got 2 prosthetic legs, and he went back to work, and his wife left him, or his girlfriend left him, and it was pretty, all these things were against him, but he came back with his prosthetic legs. And the article said the word prosthetic, and this guy was a doctor. He's like a 65, 70, he must have been 70. He was an old, grumpy, balding doctor, skinny old guy, and in front of all the students, my classes were pretty much full when I worked at a bigger school, and I had 14 students in the class, and he stood up and he said, "I'm not going to take your class anymore if you're going to teach us worthless English like prosthetics. We don't need to know that. That's a medical word. I know because I'm a doctor." Yes, sir, I understand. That was, but at the same time I was kind of smiling inside because I kind of admired his chispa, his energy, his old, old angry old man energy. I liked it. I like it. I like people who are angry sometimes because it shows you have passion. I don't mind it. I don't mind people getting all pissed off in the comments sometimes. If they're really angry, that's good. Okay, next. Do you get much free time? No, but that's kind of my choice because actually, thanks to YouTube. If I didn't do YouTube, I'd probably have a lot of free time, or vice versa. If I didn't do the jobs, I'd probably have a lot more free time that way. So I've got a couple things I like to do. One of them is YouTube. One of them is actually teaching English. So yeah, and then of course I'm married, so don't go out much anymore. I used to go out a lot. before getting married. So I had free time, but that was, it's choice. I think everybody has. Here's the thing: people who say they don't have time, they're not making time. They don't feel it's worth it. So that's basically an excuse. You put time aside to do what you want to do. Like, I want to watch Walking Dead, damn it. So I'm going to make sure I have time to watch Walking Dead. That's one of my goals. I watch Walking Dead. And a bunch of other shows. But I could really cut down this year. Like, I stopped watching that Abby show. What's it called? I forgot the Abby show. The British show. Great show, but I just don't have time for everything. So Walking Dead beats that. I'm still watching The Good Wife. Suits occasionally. I stopped watching Mentalist. What else do I watch with? Oh, Sons of Anarchy, because it's the last year, but I'm really disappointed with this year, the way it's going. I waited the last season of True Blood. It was a waste of time, but watched it anyway. Okay, next. Who cares about that? What influenced you to teach abroad? I just heard you could do it. And like I said, my goal was to find out if I like teaching. That's really all. How do you deal with difficult students? I don't really have difficult students. Occasionally I am asked to teach a group of high school students. And in those cases, you unfortunately, when you have a large group and you're doing like a 1 day or 2 day or 3 days, seminar or something, you concentrate on the students who obviously want to be there, and you try to make it fun, and you try to smile a lot and just have good positive energy, because usually, here's the thing: if you're teaching, like, let's say you're teaching a textbook and you're not, let's just grab whatever textbook, you got a textbook, and you really don't like the textbook, that's going to come across to the students. And that makes your job difficult. So sometimes a difficult student is actually kind of a reflection of the way you're dealing with them. And I found that if you continue to be positive, oftentimes you can change that student a little bit or influence them to become less difficult. And when students are really difficult, you know what I do? I just ignore them. And usually they come around. They realize, oh, maybe I'm kind of a pain in the ass, so maybe I'll try more, So, but of course it depends on who you're teaching, and it depends on the situation. Most of the students, luckily at my school, they want to be here, so we have very few difficult students. What do you like most about your job? I really like seeing students progress and get better. That's it. Like I told you before in other videos, I've owned and operated bars before, and although it's great to stay out all night to 3 a.m. drinking and bringing in lots of money, at the end of the day, what did I do? I got a lot of people drunk. That's it. Your ego is what is it called? Stroked. But when a student comes back to me and says, "Hey, I got a job thanks to you, because I helped him with the interview process," or because if it's an English interview, or with the essays, or the TOEIC test, or whatever it was, thanks to you, Victor, I got this done. Then of course I like that. What is your typical day when you work? It really depends on the day. Worst case scenario, for example, sometimes I'm called in by another school to sub or something, which is really rare. But this week I had one of those days. So I woke up, I did 3 classes in the morning, 3 classes in the afternoon, and 3 classes in the evening, and then a class on the internet. So it was actually a 10-hour day, a class. Really rare. Sometimes I'll have to leave the house at 8:30 in the morning. If I'm just working at my school, I usually don't have to be here till 1:30, so I can leave at 12:30 or so. Let's see. Now, and also, I've been teaching for so long now that I don't really have to prepare. Of course I have to prepare, but it's not like in the old days, I would prepare like 3 hours for a 1 hour class. It was crazy, even more sometimes in the very beginning. I wrote all my own material because I wanted to teach something that was very interesting for me, so I had to create all the material from scratch. Because actually, for me, that's the best way to teach. Using a textbook, if you're lucky enough to find a textbook that you like, good for you, go that way. Making your own material is a big time sucker. Though, of course, it's fun. Using a textbook is probably a lot better when it comes to time management, etc. Do you return back to America when you have the chance? Yes, once a year. I try to get back once a year, and that might include not always America. Like last year, we went to Switzerland. And now all my family, everyone decided, let's have a family vacation in Switzerland. That's what we did. Number 10, did you know much Japanese when you arrived? I knew how to read hiragana and mostly katakana maybe, and maybe I could write hiragana. But that's about it. I knew like a few words, like inu, dog, ki, tree, ringo, apple, watashi, That's about it. I knew like maybe the verb endings or something. that's pretty much it. Anyway, that's my video for you. This is for Steven. Steven, I hope this is fine for you. I hope that I don't have to type this out for you, and you can just you can transcribe generally what my answers are. And for your professor or your teacher or whoever's whoever you're submitting this to, you have my complete okay to do whatever you want with this video, except repost it on another YouTube place. You can post the link somewhere, anywhere you want, but no ripping of my video. That's about it, I guess. All right, thanks for watching, guys, and I'll talk to you in the next video.